Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to do a draw with me video, but instead of me explaining the process, I decided that I want to talk you about art style. I know guys, you ask me a lot about art style. I never had like so much space to answer about that. So I decided that I'm going to explain you the truth behind this. There's no secret. I'm going to explain you more on the process of this video. So let's jump to Procreate. The first question we have to make here is, what is an art style? An art style, it's a combination of skills, technique, color, shapes, forms, way to do things that resembles to an artist. If you see a painting from Picasso, you can see it's a Picasso because it has elements there that you relate with Picasso. But are these elements from the beginning? The answer is no. So answering your question about finding your art style, I have to say that I don't think you can find the art style. Because that means that if you find something, it's because you have been searching. And I don't have this feeling when I think about my creative process and my art journey. When I start, I never thought about finding a style. I wasn't worried about that. But it's true that I decided from the beginning what I wanted to draw. For example, in my case, they are girls. Maybe you prefer to draw plants, animals, landscapes. So I think a beginning to your art journey is know what do you want to draw. So maybe you are not sure right now, but you can try different things. You can draw girls and see how do you feel. You can draw pets, animals, and see what happens. You can draw TV art. You can draw, I don't know, you have a lot of things to draw if you are not sure. I have it sure from the beginning because I always, since I was little, I enjoyed drawing girls and portraits. So I have it clear. Maybe you need to experience a little bit if you don't have it this clear. But besides that, this kind of decision about what I wanted to draw, also you can think about what style you want to draw. For example, I went through a more Disney type, but there's a lot of drawing styles that you can do. For example, manga or comic or Disney, as I said. And also this is another decision you have to do before starting your art journey. I'm not talking about art style, I'm talking about art journey, because I think when you start drawing, what happens is like a journey, because you don't know where are you going to end. And honestly, this is this way. The style changes along the time a lot. You can imagine, guys. In 3 months, you can draw completely different. And in 6 months in the future, you are doing different things. Let's come back to Picasso again and see 3 examples I chose. The first one is from his blue period that started when a good friend of him died and he was in a depression. So you see how sad these pictures are. He worked with blues. He get very influenced with her mood, basically. The next one is in that stage he went to Paris and he started meeting with other artists and get influenced for another type of culture and another type of lifestyle and everything. And the last one is the Guernica, the most renowned artwork from Picasso. You see, it's completely different from the other 2. This one is influenced by the Cubism, also by the historic movements that we are having in Spain with the Civil War. So you see how much influenced Picasso was with the events of his life and the artistic movements and the living in different cities. So do you think Picasso had in mind finding this cubism style for the Guernica? I don't think so. So I think he was just letting her art evolve. And then he ended up being Picasso and being super famous. And, don't worry about the style. Also, I have some examples of my own work. So, for example, I have first a postcard or a Christmas postcard I did back in 2015. You see, I had a very bad technique. Also, the illustration style is completely different from what I'm doing right now. For example, here is one of the latest illustrations I did for my snail mail Patreon tier. You see how much I gained in experience and how I changed the way I made the line art. I paint the background, how I choose the colors, if I want it more saturated or not. So basically, what I want to say with these examples is that I never thought that I could do this. I never thought that I was having like a goal, an art goal to achieve, So basically, I never tried to search my style. I'm enjoying the process of learning, and I'm enjoying this art journey I'm having. I think, guys, this is what you have to get tied to, not to find something. And if you're a beginner, I don't think you have to worry about that because it's not worthy. You are just learning. And in the beginning, what you have to do is try and experiment with your art, try new brushes, and basically try to see what do you like to do. I think this is the most funnier stage when you are just trying new things and messing with your artworks and with your shapes and see what happens. Maybe you are not going to find your art style, but you can do a lot of things to make a guide for your artistic journey. First, for example, you can find inspiration around the world it's around you, the streets of your city, your surroundings, the colors of the beach if you live near the beach. So doing this type of research and getting these things into your artworks, it's going to get some kind of personality that it's going to be relatable with you, because it's not the same if you live in the beach, if you live on the city, if you live in the woods, that maybe you are more inspired with nature. If you live in the city, you are more an urban type of art. So you can see doing this kind of steps and growing as an artist is going to develop in the end what kind of art are you going to make and what kind of art are you going to enjoy doing. So aside from getting inspiration from your surroundings, you can get inspiration from other artists too. Your favorite artists that are trendy right now. And when I say artists in plural, it's because I never recommend to get inspiration from only one, because then you are going to lose your authenticity because you are not getting better. You are just doing the same that other artists do. So that's why I always say that you have to get inspired by a few artists that you can implement in your art. For example, you can love how one artist do the lightning and how the other one draw the face type, or how they make trees, or they draw the landscapes. So finding a combination of artists that you like and things you can implement into your art and get better with, make it better. This is going to be the way to find something you enjoy doing, and also something unique, because if you only get inspired with one artist, you are ending doing the same as that artist. And what we want is to find own artistic voice and not work with the other artist's voice, basically. Other thing you can do is make studies from anatomy, for landscapes, for, line art, light, shadows. Doing studies is a good option, and from photograph, from portraits, from photos you can take on the street, at your home, and practice. This is a good option to get better in your art, mastering the skills. And I think it's a better way to learn the basics. We are going to have time later on to know the stylization for characters or for landscapes, but I think it's good to have like a good basis from anatomy, light, from real life, and then turn it to another thing. Remember Picasso? He started with these realistically drawings and ended up doing the Guernica, that is the opposite of reality. The next thing you can do, and this is super important, is practice, practice, practice. Practice all day, sketch all day. I know we want, or we are in a kind of society where we want immediately results, but art is very slow. And of course, it's going to be people that has more, or do, or improve more easily than other. But every one of us has different time to dedicate to art. Maybe some of you are students and you have to make your school tasks, your college task. Others have family. So every one of us have different paces to reach, like being better artists and being better at art. So just practice and you will see results. Maybe it can be in 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years. Experience make the artist, guys. And this is super important to know. You can't pretend to start painting today and do a masterpiece in 1 week. I think it's impossible to reach. And last but not least, guys, get out of your comfort zone. I know it's super comforting to just draw the same every time, because obviously once you start painting the same time to time, you are getting better at this. But also it's super reconforting. I don't know if this words exist, but it's very worthy to get out of your comfort zone and draw different type of things. Maybe you are just drawing young girls, but you don't feel like drawing middle-aged or elder girls or men's or wherever. So try to do it because you will see that you are starting the engine doing these new type of things. Maybe you feel scared of doing backgrounds, and I'm telling this because I was scared of doing them, but now I'm super happy of how they look. The first backgrounds were horrible, but now I have in a stage where I am like what I do. And also play with your art, explore, try to change colors, shapes. I don't know, guys, experiment. This has to be fun. So don't get attached to the initial idea of finding an art style, because I think you are losing all the fun of the process of discovering things. And I really want guys to, instead of thinking about finding an art style, think about your art journey. And with this, guys, I am ending this video today, and I hope you like it, and I hope we have more suggestions in the comments for future videos like this, because I really love to help people with the stuff like this, answers, make questions. I will be here for answer them. So see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.